I am not late. Am I? No. Hang on. I'm going to get an echo here. There we go. Sorry, guys. I had my audio was not coming on, and now it is. Anyways, that's okay. Hey, welcome, hello, and welcome to Sunday night. It's a scorcher here tonight, and I am sweating. So I have a nice big glass of water handy because man, it's hot down here. Hopefully, I'm only going to sweat because of the heat, not because of a fire. So, nah, it's not going to happen. I have every little bit of confidence in this thing. So let's see, Jose is here first as always. Jose, welcome. Thank you for being here again. And Non-Fam is here. And Sergio, HVAC A to Z, hello. And who else? We have Pierre from Edmonton. Hello, Pierre. And NH3D, hey. And Miles Clayton, it's going wonderful. Thank you, sir. Not the BC smoke. Well, we got a little bit of smoke out here today, but not a whole lot. We had more yesterday, so it's cleared up a bit. Bag of chips, hello. So we did a little bit of, well, last week we got pretty much all the wiring done. And during the week I took the good old multimeter. Actually, I used a different one, but same idea. I used this one to sort of do a backup test, and we did some continuity testing on the electronics, and everything seemed okay. All the continuity tests kind of passed. So I won't bore you with the details of what I did, but I just made sure that there was no negative wires hooked up where the positive wires were, and vice versa. I made sure that we had continuity going from the board down to the power supply, the board down to the, and into the SSR, etc. I made sure that the bed is grounded, everything is grounded to the frame, the bed is grounded to the frame, the boards are grounded, yada, yada, yada. So I think we have everything set to plug in, and I didn't want to do it until I was live because that will kind of be cheating, and that way you got, then this makes for some good B-roll or a good little a YouTube short if I do happen to get sparks and smoke. So what the heck? So yeah, no smoke. David Wilson, hello. No smoke. No smoke coming tonight. Good evening, Joseph Jolly. Hello. Yeah, no, we don't know yet, David, if there's no smoke because we haven't plugged it in yet. We're going to plug it in. I was just saying I did the continuity testing during the week. I tested every wire possible. I found some interesting stuff with the continuity. It's weird, but I'll get into that later. I think everything's going to be fine. And so if we get no smoke, which we are, the only thing that's not hooked up is the beacon probe, because I'm not 100% sure how to do that yet, but we can get firmware, we can get everything installed and RatOS installed without the beacon probe right now. We just have to make sure that we configure the firmware for when the beacon probe is hooked up. So I will not let the smoke out. Hello, Nick. No smoke coming tonight. So we have 11 people. We'll give it a few more minutes before we actually do the plug-in, because I need as many witnesses as possible, just in case the fire department is looking for, witnesses or wanting to get statements from anybody. So, or my insurance company. So we'll see. But so I got this a little bit cleaned up here. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that if we get no smoke, we can get some firmware going within the next hour and a half or so, 2 hours that I'm going to be on. And we can maybe get the firmware. I've got the RatOS site. I've got the whole little instruction page here put up. We have our installation for RatOS, which is what we're going to put on it. We have our RatOS releases. They have a pre-release here. I don't know if I'll do 202. I'll probably do 201, the latest stable release. And we'll do that. Hit the like button while you wait. Yes, do that. You thought about making a Voron, but damn, they're expensive. They're not cheap, that's for sure, Miles. Definitely. There are already enough fires in Canada this summer. Yes, there are, Nick. We will not make any more fires. That's not my plan. So, but yeah, so we're probably going to go down. And the only thing I'm pretty sure I have a 32-bit Raspberry Pi, because we get RatOS 2.1 Raspberry Pi 32 I honestly, I've got to reach out to you guys, and I have the Raspberry Pi 0.2W, and I'm not 100% sure if that's a 32-bit or a 64-bit board. I tend to think it's a 32-bit board, and I tend to think that I'm not even sure which one of these I'm going to pick, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out because there's people on here that know what they're doing versus me, who is just going to go by these instructions here. This is what we're going to go by right here. Okay. Go with the 32. Yeah. But then there's options with the 32, right? So you have a 32 image SHAFE 256. You have a 32 RPI 32 image XZ. You have an XZ SHAFE 256, and you have a Jason. What's Jason doing in here? So I just got to figure out what the difference between all those ones are. These guys right here. There's 4 different ones to choose from. Doop, doop. Oh, not all those, just those. You use the 64, but you had a 4 gigabyte Pi 4. Yeah, no, I have the Pi 4, Pi 02W. So that's the fun. Yeah. Whoops, big double screen thing hitting on there. There we go. 12 people. 12. Oh, man, it's warm. Oh, I'm sweating. Either I'm sweating from the heat or I'm sweating because I'm nervous to plug this thing in. Probably a little bit of both. There won't be bloodshed. No, there won't be unless I drop something on my head. I got to grab a... where's my rags? I got rags here somewhere. I don't think this one... I think this was just used for isopropyl, but man, I just need to give my head a wipe because it's hot down here. And it's not the lights. The lights don't give off a lot of heat because they're LED. I guess they give off a little bit. We are infinite. Two RatRigs and 2 Bamboo Prusa XL with 5 heads in the queue. Holy crap. David, you got way too much time or money on your hands. One of the two, or both. Okay, well, let's get at her. Let's find a plug along right here. I think this one's going to fit. Okay, so we got to go from over there up to over here. So we got to go, let's see. Oh, maybe if I run it. I need a plug on that side of the bench. Let's just see. Do I have an extension? I have an extension cord right here. Here we go. Always good to have extension cords. I'm coming around the bench. We're going to plug. We're going to go there. I'm going to go from the power bar on this side over here, just so I don't have to run this across the bench. So we're going to put an extension cord from up here. There we go. Okay. Doop, 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 doop. Oh, you're saving money from your prints that you sell at the markets and weekends. Cool. That's cool. Okay. Plug in here and make sure our power switch is off. It is. We will plug in here. Okay. That part worked. 15 amp breaker. Woo-hoo. Okay, that part worked. So far we're good. Okay, let's come around. Oh man, walking around is giving me a bit of a cool breeze. We got our rig all set up. I don't know if I'll need to turn the light on, but we got a rig all set up so you guys can get a good camera view of all the electronics. Let's go ahead and ready. Drum rolls. And there we go. Okay. All the electronics are here. That's a little bit bright. Darken that up. We should darken it right up like this, so if it does spark, you see them really good. So now let's make sure we're in focus here, which I think we are. I think we're focused here. Do-do-do. Okay, here we go. No smoke. Hey, John, how are you? No, it's not a CR6 SE. It's a RatRig. You're just in time. We're just about to put the power on for the first time on this rebuild. If this thing is worth its weight in copper, it tells me all my wiring is done right. So, okay. You have to walk around the 500. That gives me enough of a breeze. You got that right, Toph. And hello, Toph. And hello, everybody. Say hi to Tripods Garage, John. I'm honored to have you on here, John. Thank you. Okay, guys, we have 15 people watching, 15 witnesses. I'm going to reach around. I don't want to put my face too close to everything. I'm going to reach around and hit the switch. Okay. Hang on. Actually, first, I'm going to be one of these TikTokers who drags this out for a half an hour. You know, no, I'm not. But anybody want to place bets on smoke or no smoke? Who has confidence in my wiring, and who doesn't have confidence in my wiring? Is it going to work? If we just look at just the anyways, and the Wagos. I mean, we used a lot of Wagos in this build, so yeah. Smoke. John says, John. Okay, man, I used to like you. No confidence? What's the over-under? And Jose has confidence. Thank you, Jose. Pierre is confident. Jose is confident. David is confident. Miles is confident. Joseph is confident. Okay, John, you are alone here, man. You're alone. I'm going to prove you wrong. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let's go. Where's my bench camera? There we go. Okay, but I am, not that I'm a chicken, but I am going to kind of reach around without getting my face, like I'm not going to lean over because I don't want my face too close to things. And where's my switch? Dang, there's the plug. Switch is right there. Ready? I don't have a fire extinguisher down here. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Oh. I got blinky light on the board. I got a green light on the board. I got a green light on the Pi. I got a green light on the power supply. No smoke. No smoke. Was that scary? No smoke. Yay! Okay, but there is one thing that's kind of bothering me here. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I had that before. My park cooling fans are going full blast. Why are my park cooling fans turning on? Oh, maybe because I don't have the firmware installed yet. And they're just on because there's nothing saying don't turn on. Ah, cool. Those are not lights. They're small sparks. They're pretty green and red sparks, right, John? Wow, good. And obviously my little 5-volt power supply is working because I do have power to the Pi. Power to the Pi. Okay, yes, this is a good sign. Okay. But yeah, the park cooling fan's going full blast, so that's probably normal. Toph thinks I'm creepy. Well, I am creepy. Let the software load. Yes. Okay, well, let's power off now. Yeah, look, no smoke. We'll show you again just so you can see. And I'm just letting it go for a bit just to make sure. And then what I'm going to do now is a sniff test. And I smell nothing electronic, which is, you don't want to smell this at all, right? So good. We have all the power where we need it. So let's go ahead and shut the power off. Yay! Okay, now all I need to do is, okay, we have a micro SD card in the Pi. We're going to have to reflash everything. So we have an 8 gig card for the Pi. And do I have a card? Actually, I can probably take the card out of the old Big Tree SK Pro and reformat this one, which is an 8 gig card. And what card do I have in this thing? Oh, this is for 128 megabyte card. I should probably use the 128 megabyte card. I'll throw that in after. This is just off the old Trident here. have too many of these little cards around. Love the smell of burnt electronics in the evening. It looks 100% classier than yours. What do you mean? What you mean, like the wiring and look and everything? That, to me, that's messy. But and I, for some reason, I have a Speedway here that I actually didn't even need, and I just threw this little loose one in here. Just, I should glue that in actually, because I just did this to sort of hold these wires and make it look a little neater than it is. So, okay. So there's a couple cards there we can use. An 8 gig we can use on the Pi, and a 128 megabyte card we can use on the main board. Now I just need to figure out how to do this, because this is the part. Great movie. What movie? Napalm. And oh, that is a good movie, David. And who said that? Wasn't that Robert Duvall who said that? His character. You were there, David? No kidding. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to need my card reader. I got to figure out how to do this. So I have to read the instructions, believe it or not. It's been so long. So I need to download RatOS. So I just need to decide which version I need. Let's see. Raspberry Pi installation. Download the newest release of RatOS image.xz file. Under the Assets dropdown, RatOS on GitHub. Belina Etcher to write the image to the SD card that goes in your Raspberry Pi, 16 gig or larger. Okay, so I think I only have an 8 gig card here. Let's see if I have a 16 gig card around. It's an all new install. I need to have a bigger card, obviously, and I think I have some cards here. I don't know if I have a 16 gig card. Does it really need a 16 gig card? Aye. Okay, let's see what I've got. I have a whole bunch of cards here. 8 gig. 8 gig. No name. No name. I'm going to assume these are 8s. Can't read them. 8888. Come on, I don't have a 16 gig card. Tell me it does not need a 16 gig card. Make sure it's for the correct Pi version. And that was my question. Because the options we have over here are, I have a Pi 02W. So I'm positive that's a 32-bit. So it's probably this one right here, image.xz. That's probably the one I want right there. It does need 16 or larger. Well, that's crap. Okay. Let's just see. Let me look around here, because let's see if I have a 16 gig card somewhere I could steal for now from somewhere. They all need 8 gig. Even the Vorons use 8 gig cards. What's with this 16 gig crap? Let's see. Here's an old Raspberry Pi. What's this one? Oh, 32 gig. There we go. This is the Pi off of the Trident. So, and it has a 32 gig card in it. I'll borrow this one, and I'll just have to get a new one for the Trident. There we go. Should be a list of all Pis. Yeah, it's not really telling me which Pi is which though, but I'm going to confirm this. So good, we have a 32 gig card here we can use for the Pi. Let's just go ahead and look at these instructions again. Okay. Raspberry Pis with 1 gig or less memory is recommended to use a 32-bit version of the Image 64. 64-bit causes too high memory usage in some situations. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this Pi 02W, I'm sure that does not have more than a gig of memory. I would almost guarantee it. So we will use the 32-bit. Okay. When the RatOS image has been written to the SD card, insert the SD card into the Raspberry Pi and turn on the Pi. After a few minutes, the Raspberry Pi will host a hotspot called RatOS. Okay, so but I also need to flash the preparing your control board right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and download the firmware. And this, the one we want based on that, is going to be right there. Raspberry Pi RPI32 image.xz. We'll download that. And then we're going to need, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to need, well, let me plug my reader in. So I'm actually going to be able to read and write the card. But which camera can I unplug? I can unplug this little guy right here. I'm not using it. Okay, hang on. Stop. That was the wrong one. Now what's this camera? Oh man, I need more. Who needs more USB ports on their computer? Here we go. I have a USB-C to USB-A adapter. Plug that into the USB-C, and we have a card reader ready to go. Good. Hey, Jack Black, how are you? The Pi will flash the main board. Oh, it will. So I should put a card in the main board, the 128 megabyte card in the main board. Or do I have to format it first? I don't know. We'll throw it in there. We'll do the instructions. So we're going to download. We've downloaded that one now. If I'm not mistaken, time to go get some sleep. Okay, Jose, thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. I appreciate that. You don't smell smoke, Marcel. We turned it on. Yeah, we went smoke-free tonight. See you later, Jose. Okay, we downloaded that. Let's just have a look at, where's my instructions again? Here we go. And let's just see. Then use Balena Etcher. Balena Etcher? Do I have to? Balena Etcher. Flash Flawless. I could just, can't I just use, well, let's do it. Let's follow the instructions. I've never used Balena Etcher before. So I'll show you guys where I'm reading. It says download RatOS. We downloaded that. Now it's using Balena Etcher to write the image to the SD card that goes in your Raspberry Pi. Just use Raspberry Pi Imager. Is it this? It's the same thing, isn't it? An Imager? Yeah, and I've already got Raspberry Pi Imager on my computer. So here, hang on, we can close that. That's just my Stream Deck. And I don't need to, okay. So let's go. Let's find Raspberry Pi Imager. I'm pretty sure I have that already loaded. Pi Imager, here we go. Yes, I'm sure I want to run it. There's a newer version of Imager available. Yeah, let's download the new version. Why not? Download for Windows. Here we go. Let's just use the new version. Got to see Jim's RatRig in person, and damn thing is it huge. Yeah, these things are huge. These are big. Okay. So we got that. Let's find our download. Let's close this one since we're going to use the new one. Let's find our download here. And Imager 175. Let's install it. Yes, we do. Install. I may as well sit down while I do this. Why not? Why is that camera frozen on the screen there? Am I frozen? Or is it just my OBS that's frozen? Run Raspberry Pi Imager. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I know why I'm frozen on the bottom of the screen there. Why didn't it run Raspberry Pi Imager? Oh, it did. It's right here. Let me check. Let me fix something up real quick here, though, first. When I go display, I got to take this, and I'm going to remove this camera. Give me 1 second. And then I'm going to add in video capture device existing, and we're going to add in the ATEM camera. There we are. Hi. I'm going to shrink myself way down right there. There we go. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. And where's my chat window that I just lost so I can really keep an eye on you guys chatting me. Now you want pie. There we go. I had lemon pie tonight. Maria made lemon pie. It was delicious. Okay, so now we're going to choose our storage. So let me put this 32 gigabyte card in my card reader. There we go. Okay, I think it just realized it. So the OS is going to be, if I am not mistaken, let's see, this is media player general purpose OS. I think it's general purpose. No, it's not. It's, come on, it is custom? No. Oh, where are we here? There's a other specific purpose OS. 3D printing OS, and it is Clipper. We want mainsail. There we go. Mainsail 32-bit. That's the one we want. Okay. Custom and RatOS image. Really? Oh. Custom. Let's go back. Back. So you're saying to use custom and then choose the RatOS image from my downloads? Where's my downloads? And right here. Okay, so that's what you're saying is to do that one. Okay. Choose the storage device, and we're going to use this 32 gig storage device. You bet money on it. Okay. That's why they recommend Balena. Oh, because it's a little easier that way. So then let's do the tools here. Set host name, Raspberry Pi. This is going to be called RatRig Local. RatRig.local. Username and password, configure wireless. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I'm watching chat and listening to you guys. Right, because it's RatOS and not mainsail. Okay, that makes sense. I do want to configure my Wi-Fi. So my SSID is, I got to look that up real quick here. Let me see. Let me see what my network is called here. I never remember it. You'd think I would, but no, I don't. I know I saved the image of my Wi-Fi and it is right there. No, that's not. That's my old one. Here it is. Okay. So we are SHA-9036. And my password, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you will be able to see it, but I don't care. I mean, if anybody in the chat wants to come and use my Wi-Fi, you're welcome to. Hang on getting a pen. There you go. That way, when you're going to hack into my Wi-Fi, I can just do that. You know, that's just like that. Look at that. How's that for you? There we go. And then I can go like this and then just check it. Make sure I typed it in properly, which I did. And then I can go like this and put you back on the display. Ha ha ha. Okay. Local settings. Yeah, we're in America, Edmonton. I'm not in Edmonton, but keyboard layout US is fine. And I think we're okay. Play sound when finished. I don't care. So we save. Now we write. All existing data on the mass storage device will be erased. I want it to erase it. There we go. Please insert a disk into drive F. I've got a disk inserted into drive F. Matter of fact, it's writing right now. Should be. If I can get rid of that message because we are writing. There we go. Okay. That's just Windows. Okay. I'm a Mac guy, but I don't. Windows is good for something once in a while. I can look at all these micro SD cards I've got on my table. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 micro SD cards sitting here now. They're all 8 gigabytes. Well, some of them are blank. I can't really tell what they are. They're the ones that came with something else. I can't even see what these are. Where are we at? 18%. So you're saying this is also going to flash the main board, the octopus, when I plug this in? Cool. Well, while we're waiting for this, let's just go have a look at the rest of the instructions. Let's just see what it says. So we're going Wi-Fi for sure. Boom. Alternative to using a Pi with Ethernet, you can use Ethernet. No, okay. Preparing your control board is heavily recommended that you flash your board and make sure it's detected the configurator before you plug in your stepper drivers and start connecting your wiring. Huh? Too late. May be required for you to have an SD card initially flash your board. If this is required, then be sure to use a good quality SD card that is no more than 32 gig in size. Additionally, it should be formatted with either FAT16, sometimes called FAT, or FAT32, with a cluster size of 8 or 4 kilobytes. Okay, complete the wizard to flash your control board optionally. Okay, well, we'll figure this out. Microsoft is good for an infection. So what's this rat OS local configurator step equals 1? Let's see where this takes me. Site cannot be reached. Yeah, typical, right? Okay, I'm just trying to see because we got to prepare the board. Okay. Oh, I see. Open RatOS configure to follow steps presented there to set up Wi-Fi and your printer's host name. Okay, well, we'll take it one step at a time here. Read down a little. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, let's take it a step at a time here. That's why I tend to overwhelm myself by reading too far ahead. We got to wait till this is written. How are we doing here? Wait till this is written, then we're going to turn it on, we're going to flash it, then we're going to open it up, and then we're going to configure it from there. How's that sound? Look at that. Well, at least I have my companion here to keep me company. See what I did there? BitFocus companion. Anybody use that? Well, okay, we still got a little bit to write, so I'll read ahead a little bit more even. Okay. Mainsail is a control interface for your printer. I like that new RatOS. It will allow you to flash the board. Oh, very cool. RatOS.local. Updating. Go to the machine and tab in Mainsail. You'll see the title called Update Manager. Okay, and then we're going to update all that. With the board flashed and everything wired up, you can now proceed to configuration guide. Okay. Cool. You can always go back to the RatOS local configure sep equals 1 to flash your board if necessary. If you get a Clipper error mentioning MCU and host versions, this means you need to flash your board. Okay. Okay. We'll see. The first step is to get it running in your browser. Yeah, okay, and which is what we're going to do next. Once this is done, we'll put the card in the Pi. We'll turn the Pi on, and then we'll go to our, turn the Pi on, and then go to, what did it say? RatOS local/configure, or HTTP 192.168.50/configure, and follow the steps presented there to set up Wi-Fi on your printer's host name. Documentation could be better. It always could be, right? Right? You think about it, 99%. Now we're going to do a verify, if I'm not mistaken. It's got to verify the writing. And then we'll see. How many brave souls do we have on right now? Let's see. Oh, we have 26 brave souls watching right now. Cool, cool, cool. I'm kind of speechless here now, just waiting for this. We gotta wait. In the meantime, what I could do is look up configuring the beacon. I still don't know where the beacon's going to plug in. Let's go. Let's see if I can't find the beacon GitHub site. Yeah, because it's not going to plug in straight from the USB-A because my board's got a USB, micro USB, and my Pi has a micro USB available. I don't know if I can run this beacon with this Pi. Okay, now we're doing a verify. Just so you know, we're verifying. So let's go to the web. Let's go and do a search for GitHub beacon probe. There we are. Okay. Oh, that's the you need to edit the supplicant text file that contains the Wi-Fi info. Okay. Yeah, I remember having to do that when I first when I did the old RatRig setup. So I'm looking for beacon. No, I think I'm in the wrong spot. Let's see. There we go. AutoZ calibrate with beacon probe. We'll do that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're going to have to test motors and all that stuff too. So. Let's see. Works exclusively with Clipper. Add to cart. No, okay. Eddy current. And seeing if there's any instructions. There we are. Unassembled parts come with unassembled instructions. Okay, but I'm looking for the configuration instructions. Config reference. Quick start. Okay, we're going to do a lot of configuring for the beacon probe, so that's going to be a whole. That's going to be a whole stream, I bet, getting that probe working. WinSPC, I have WinSPC, so we'll use that as well. Okay, we're at this point here. We're verifying. We're at 70% verifying. We're almost ready. Then we'll plug her in and turn it on and hope we still don't get smoke. I've cooled off a little bit now. Good. I think it was a little bit nervousness from plugging the thing in that made me sweat a little bit too. So, yeah. 85%. We're almost there. I know this is the boring part, but hey, it's you got to go through all this stuff to reap the benefits and rewards of this magnificent printer. Do I have my old config files? Oh my goodness, David, I might. I might, but I don't know. Okay, we have been written to the generic device. You can now remove the SD card from the reader. I assumed it ejected it for me. Let's make sure. I know that we want to do an eject on it, and it looks like it has been ejected. Drive EFG. Okay, there we go. Okay, we can remove the card. I don't know if I have it or not, David. I'm not sure if I kept it. I suspect I didn't. But let's go ahead and put the written card in the Pi. And let's power it on. Notice no smoke, just some flashy, flashy lights. You're hot. It is hot here, isn't it, Miles? It's a warm day today. Okay, we're going to flash the Pi. The Pi is, we got a green light flashing on the Pi. We're going to let that sort of load and settle until the light kind of stabilizes, and then we'll try and see if we can't log into it. We'll let that go for a few minutes. And then it said, I even think I put a link here. Yeah, it said ratos.local/configure. So we'll just click on that link in a minute and we'll see what happens. We're just going to kind of let this, I know this takes a few minutes to write. I need to find the Pi. It's right, it's right here. Right here. I found it. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. Okay, let's go have a look. Let's go on the display. Let's click this link. Come on, please work for me. Can't be reached. Of course it can't be reached. Might not be all loaded yet. Let's go ahead and look at that IP. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, David. Okay, that IP is not working, but it just might not be loaded yet. I know the initial load can take some time. Although we do have a solid, oh no, we have a little bit of a blinking light. Okay, well, we'll give it some time. Oh, I wonder, because I called it RatRig.local. No. Well, the one thing we can do is look for advanced IP scanner. Let's go ahead and scan the IPs. Results, we're going to go 1 to 99. Let's scan and see if it can find the IP. This is what I use on the Vorons to find the IP addresses for the Vorons. So it's going to find all my 10.0.0 IPs. It's not going to be a 192. It's going to be a 10.0.0 because that's my internal IPs. So let's see what happens. So far, it's not finding any. Well, mind you, I don't know what all these ones are, but it's going to tell me eventually. 9 alive, 17 dead, 173 unknown. So that's all it's finding, huh? I don't. This is the part that takes a little bit of patience, can be frustrating as all get out. MacBook Pro, Linux. don't know what half of these IPs are. Can you put the card into my computer? Yeah, I can. Yeah, I have to power it off here. Well, let me try it once more. Should have found it by now. Let me just once more. And I think it's going to be called, I don't think it's going to be RatOS. I renamed it. It's going to be RatRig.local. No, it's not finding it. Hey, Zixelter, 3-hour time zone messing you up? Why? Let's go ahead and turn this off. Pop the card out. And let's see if I can read the card in the computer, see what we got on it. Bum-ba-da-da. Raspberry Pi imager set up Wi-Fi properly. You have to do it manually. I think I did it manually. I think I did it. I'm positive I did it. Okay, why are you not reading my card now? There we are. Cancel. Where? Whoa. Maybe I have to try doing it again. Here we are. Okay. So here's the files from Indiana to California. No doubt. So here's the files on the card. Do I have a supplicant? There, we got to open that supplicant file. I think which is what you were saying to check for the Wi-Fi. See, there's nothing in there for Wi-Fi. Now, can I edit this in Note++, I think it's called? Notebook++? Notepad++, I think is what I've edited it in before. Okay, so let's open in F in the supplicant file right here. So now we got to put our Wi-Fi in here. Okay, open unsecured network. Secured network, put in SSID. Okay, right here. So I got to put in my network here. Okay. Okay. I got to look it up again. Okay, this one's either SHA-9036 and password. We're going to switch cameras just so I don't broadcast this. Type it right. And then we're going to save it. And WPA, WPA, or WEP? I don't know. WEP. Because it's secure. Oh, wow. Okay. WPA, WPA2. Oh, maybe it's WPA, WPA2. Well, if I put it in both, does it matter? Oh, and uncomment the section. But if I think it's WPA, WPA2. Good call there. And uncomment the section. Okay. So let's go ahead and delete that because I don't need that. And I'm going to uncomment the section. So I think it is WPA. You're right. So what we'll do is we'll uncomment this section. I forgot about the uncommenting. There we go. Now we'll put in the SSID. Aha. If it was WEP, may as well just tell you the password. Oh, I see. Okay. 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 Then we'll put the password in here. There we go. Okay. Now I'll save it. There we go. Okay. Thanks for that. Thanks for the heads up there, guys. Okay. So I'm just going to double check the supplicant file, make sure it did change. And it did change. So I now have a WPA network on there. Okay. So we'll close that. We'll eject the card. You want a hashtag on the first line of the section? I do. Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's just check and see that again. I'm going to have to put the card back in and try it. Okay. Load it up. Load it up. Show me the files. Okay. Let me go back in and check that out just to make sure. Make sure I didn't mess that up. Okay. Okay, so you're saying, oh, I want a hashtag on the first line. Ah, I get it. Okay. Okay, that makes sense because otherwise it's going to read that and come up with an error. All it needs to see is network, SSID, and PSK. Makes sense. Change to Canada. Where? Let me see. I'll have to see. Bear with me. Ah, country Canada. Uncomment Canada. Okay. Okay, we're going to uncomment Canada. I'm just not showing you this because my password is showing here. So we uncommented, we changed it to Canada, and we put a hashtag on the first line of that. So it says the hashtag is on the line that says WPA, WPA2 secured. And we unhashtag Canada, and we're going to hashtag United Kingdom, which was default. So we'll hashtag and comment that out. So now we got the right country, and we're good now. Okay, I'm just looking to make sure everything looks good here. Okay, perfect. Now we'll save it. Okay. Okay. So we went ahead and saved it. I will just quickly double check it just to be sure. Let's just do this. We'll open it up, double check it, check the bottom, and we are good. Okay, now we're good. Now we'll eject, and we can safely pull the card out. Okay, now we can put the card in. You were the odd duck that followed the instructions. Yeah. I have a really bad habit, as anybody who watches me regularly will know, of skimming instructions. So, okay, let's go ahead and turn this on now. There we go. Okay, we're booting up again. We'll just give this another few minutes to write that card again. Hopefully now the Wi-Fi will work. Oh, my cup just made a sound when I lifted it. Now the Pi should see the network. Yeah, and this is all the stuff, if I do this, it's like anything. If I do this every day or once a week or everything, all this stuff just becomes habit, right? And it becomes easy to do. But And it's similar to when you do the Vorons and stuff, but it's been a while since I've installed this stuff. So, okay, I know I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit here, but let's go ahead and try it now. 100% flipper noob. You were a flipper noob? Like the Flipper the dolphin? Or did you mean to say clipper? I think you meant clipper. Okay. 2 RatRigs and doing regular upgrades helps. Absolutely. Okay, let's try this again. ratrig.local/configure, nothing. Might just take a minute or two. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Okay, let's do an advanced IP scan again and see if I can find a new IP address. Let's go ahead and put that there and scan. See what we get. Look on my phone, is there a RatOS hotspot? Interesting. Let's have a look. No, I don't see one. Let's see what the IP scanner comes up with. Mm-hmm. So far, nothing new. Hmm. That's funny. Okay, nothing new. So let's again try. Oh, wrong one. Let's go back and try. Nope. So we're not finding ratos.local/configure. We're not finding the pi. Could you see the supplicant without the password? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and look at that, because that could be the issue. It might be something in the supplicant file. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm just going to power off, grab the card out again. This is the part that takes the patience. A lot of people would give up, but it just takes patience. And there's obviously something that I've mistyped or that I'm doing wrong. We'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and look at the supplicant file. Let me open the notepad in case I do need to do the edit on it. And I'm going to open it up. Come on. Whoa, whoa. File open. And I'll just cut the password out. And then I'll show you guys the file. Okay, Command X. Okay, so here I will share my screen here. There's the supplicant file. Hang on a minute. There we go. So you can see it right here. So there's the password area right here. So we have our network SSID, which is SHA-9036. My passkey was in there. We added the hashtag before the WPA. Add a space in front of OD, SSID, and passkey. So you're saying to add a space, read section Wi-Fi or Ethernet, install instructions. Okay. Oh, the section in the okay, Wi-Fi or Ethernet install. Okay, hang on, let me check that out. Hotspot called RatOS. Join this hotspot on your phone or PC. Oh. Okay. So I've got to open that hotspot and follow the steps presented there. Okay. Okay, I think I see. So there should be a hotspot, a Wi-Fi hotspot called RatOS. Okay, let's see. Let's try. I didn't even notice that. Okay, we'll try that. And in the meantime, David was saying that, or Stephen was saying, the space in front of the SSID and passkey. Okay, SSID key. Okay. Space and space. Actually, there was two spaces. So they all line up. Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. Okay. Let's save this again. Oh, let me put my passkey back in. Okay, so let me go ahead and just give you a different view here. We'll paste my passkey back in. We'll save it. Okay. And we'll eject it. And then we'll also look for that that hotspot. Okay, I didn't see. That's what I mean. And skimming over instructions does not do me any good. Okay, we ejected it. We'll throw it back in. And we'll boot it back up. Hook up USB cable and shell in and run NMTUI. This should work. This will work. I remember I've struggled with this before on different things. Remember when I first did the RatRig, it took a little while, a little trial and error, a little playing around, because I was doing things a little wrong. Okay, we got flashing happening here more so than before. So we're writing to the Pi for sure right here, because we got some good green flashing going on here. So as soon as that flashing settles down, we'll see if we find that hotspot now. If it was those two spaces, I'm telling you, man. See if I find that hotspot on my phone. I'll run the IP scanner too. I wonder if I did something initially wrong when I imaged the disk from the Pi imager. That's possible too, right? Well, I'm not seeing a hotspot on my phone, but that does not necessarily mean anything. But let's run IP scanner as well. Let's run that once more just to see. Why is it running? Oh, you know what? Now it's running 192. Okay, that's not the right. Well, let's just see. Yeah, we have a solid green light now on the Pi. This is not the right. We want 10.0. We want that one there. We want a 10.0.0 scan. Yeah, I might have done the initial flash of the card incorrectly, because I don't think I enabled SSH. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Midlife Chaos. I might try the Bellina, the one they recommend. I mean, if I'm following their instructions, I should follow them fully. Yeah. Yeah, it's not popping up on here. Okay, let's go ahead, because we did have that window open. Not here, it was, where did I have that window open? Bellina Etcher. Let's just go ahead here. Yeah, and I know everybody did Bellina. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. I'm just gonna, I know everybody's giving me great ideas, but I'm gonna follow the documentation. Download Etcher, Windows x64, installer, Windows Legacy. This is the one we want, the top one. Okay, we're downloading it, 148 megs, almost done. Let's go install it. There we go. Let's go ahead and install. Let's just do this. I'm always liking to try new software anyways. Do what I should have done in the first place. Follow the instructions. I agree. Oh, and look, it says I agree right here. It agreed with you there, Shane, on screen. Got to check the box for SSH. Will do. Okay, there's the etcher. Okay, I got to turn this off. I got to get the card ready. Let's just start over. I mean, I always like to show the at first, I always like to show how not to do something, okay? Now we're going to show how to do something. So we're going to flash from file. Okay, so there's the card. It's going to erase that card. Doesn't matter. We're going to flash from file. And the file we want is this one right here. That's the file that we downloaded. Make sure that's the right one. Yes, it is. Open. Okay, yes, good idea, David. Okay, now we're going to go to our card, which is this one here, 32 gig device right there, which is what we want. Select and flash. And yes, we do want to allow that to do that. There we go. Okay, and there's a Windows thing. We can close that. There we go. So now we're flashing. Now, it didn't let me pick network or anything. So we're just going to let it do what it does. Does it auto eject the card? I don't know. Now, should I have gone in? Now, let's just see again. Did I skip a step here? No. Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's interesting to know, Ballistic. Midlife chaos, I'm the same way. You always go off in the wrong direction and get stuck. Yeah. Etcher has less options, so it's easier. Yeah, okay. Well, that was way easier right there. So let's just see what happens when I flash her, and we'll go to the supplicant file first to set up the network. Next paragraph as well. Next paragraph as well, and you're speaking in here. Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Yes, yeah, and I'm reading that. When it's been written to the SD card, insert the SD card into the Pi, turn on the Pi. After a few minutes, Pi will host a hotspot called RatOS. Join this hotspot on your phone or laptop with Wi-Fi. Password is Raspberry. When connected, we'll open the RatOS local configure file and follow the steps presented there to set up Wi-Fi and your printer's host name. Okay, so you set up the Wi-Fi there versus going to the supplicant file. That's what I'm hearing you say, Teza. David's saying go to the supplicant file, but from what Teza is saying there, I set up the Wi-Fi after joining the RatOS hotspot. Any thoughts on that, gentlemen? So Teza, that's what Teza's saying. So that's when you set up the Wi-Fi. We don't go to the supplement file to begin with. I guess there's different ways to skin a cat, but we're going to be good right now because I've already done it the wrong way. We're going to do what the instructions say. This is all new to you, Miles. Miles, if you ever get into doing this, my man, it's really, really good brain exercise. Trust me. You don't have a phone or Wi-Fi, just wired systems. Okay. I'm going to follow the documentation. I am going to follow the documentation, period. Okay. I've only got till 7 o'clock. I've only got another 45 minutes, so we got to get this done. I will say, regardless of whether you're doing a RatRig, whether you're doing a Vorons, whatever, when you're dealing with Clipper, when you're dealing with mainsail, RatOS, it just takes a little bit of patience. Yeah, not the same as Clipper. Yeah, obviously it's a little different than Clipper right now. But we're doing this. RatOS is I think, a whole new ball game. I am terrible for not following instructions. Try it, and if it doesn't work, try the supplicant file. It will work, David. I have confidence that it'll work. Because the instructions can only be right, correct? These little Wagos are good little fidget toys too. Open them, and there's something satisfying when they snap close. Yeah. Okay, 68% flashed. We are flashing. Okay, so they have Belinda Etcher Pro, which allows you to flash 16 cards at once. Holy cow. Using the same interface you know and love. I guess if you're building a crap load of printers or you're a service support thing, except when they're wrong, exactly, Teza. Well, why would you want to flash 16 cards at once? I guess depending on what you're doing. Wow. That's interesting. We'll get it going. Just, yeah, you know. That's why doing this stuff live is so... You either got to enjoy watching somebody struggle, have patience when they struggle. Streaming is, you got to keep in mind, the one thing that I struggle with streaming is that, number one, I don't follow instructions perfectly, which I'm getting better at, really. Trust me, the Voron builds, I learned to read instructions carefully, try and follow them a little better. Number two, and I don't want anybody out there to take this the wrong way, because everybody is helping. But I get, when you're streaming and you're doing something like this, and then you're getting suggestions pouring in, you don't want to ignore anybody's suggestion, but at the same time, it's okay, which one do I do? And that's why I've reverted right now to, you know what, let's just follow the instructions, the RatRig instructions. If I get stuck on the instructions, then I look to the chat and say, okay, oh yeah, that's what this means. If the instructions don't work for some reason, then we go back to see what the chat recommends. So what is the printer? The printer is a RatRig V-Core 3.1R, I call it, because there's a few revisions on it. And it's a 500 by 500 by 500 millimeter printer. Core XY printer. Oh, I think we're done. Let's see. This popped up. That's the card. It still has a supplicant file on it. And let's see. Oh no, it's validating now. Okay, yeah, it finished flashing. Now it's validating. There we go. You usually end up hooking the Pi up to a monitor and keyboard and setting up via Raspberry config. That's what I got to do. I have a Pi that I think is dead, but I'm not sure if it's dead. I got to test the board. I don't know how to test a Pi board, but we'll figure it out. Oh boy. Keeping me awake, guys? No, I'm kidding. I'm watching this cool new series on Apple TV called Hijack. It's pretty good. There's only 4 episodes out, so 4 or 3 episodes out so far. So I got to wait till Wednesday for the next one to come out. Really good show. Did you miss the flames yet, Build It Basement? There's no flames. Right now, we're just trying to flash the card, get the Pi going. So we are validating at 45% on the flash card using a software called Belinda Etcher. I like Belinda Etcher so far. There's lots of time for flames yet. Doot, doot, doot. He hasn't turned on the heat bed yet. No, I haven't. That's a good point. But I am getting the proper voltage out of everything, and I've gone ahead and done continuity testing on everything. We powered it up earlier, and we had no problem at all. I always say the hardest part of these builds is getting the software all configured. Because otherwise, it's just hooking up wires and putting screws in and dropping your balls and finding your balls and everything. That part can be done. That's all mechanical. The software part is the fun part. Looks a lot cleaner than the old setup. Yeah, well, there's a good view of the whole thing here. It's not bad. It's reasonably clean compared to what I had before. Certainly is. Oh, excuse me. Okay, 89% verified. Now we can skip the validation, but why bother, right? I guess it's checking for errors in the card. 95%. ETA is 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Finishing. Okay, we're almost ready. I can stop fidgeting. Okay, flash failed. Here we go. So there could be an issue right there. Flash failed for some reason. We don't know why. Find out more. We don't need to find out more, but why would the flash fail? I guess we got to try it again. It's the only card I have that'll fit this data. So why don't I maybe format the card first? It obviously ejected the card for me because it's not showing up on my list. So let's see. Use a class 10 SD. Well, this one is a Kingston Canvas Selected Plus 32 gigabyte class 10 micro SD made in Taiwan. I'm going to format this first. Let's format it, and then we'll try it again. We're going to go right mouse click. We're going to format. No, we can't format it. It doesn't format that big. Why is it saying 256 megabytes when it's a 32 gigabyte card? Okay. Linux partition. Oh, I get it. I see what you're saying. That's just the boot partition. Yeah. So I just have to let the Balena etcher do its thing, and it formats it as it goes. Okay. Disk manager. Do they have a disk in Windows? Does Windows have disk manager? Really? Disk cleanup. Initialize, manage disks and volumes. Really? I'm not a big Windows person, right? Disk manager. That's that one. Generic storage class disk 2 online. That's this one right here. Generic mass storage. Properties. Okay. Partition style. Master boot record. How do I get back? Quick removal performance. Okay. Control panel disk manager. Well, there's our disk manager right here. Storage control. Okay, disk manager. Disk manager. Disk manager, Windows 10. Disk manager tool. That's not what I want. Right-click the start button for the cool options. Right-click the start button for the cool options. What? Disk management. Ah, okay. F. Okay. Ta-da, yay, F. So now I want to basically take this and go right mouse click, format, FAT32, default, and okay. No, well then what? Why wouldn't I, what? I don't know what I'm doing here. Unallocated 20, okay. Explore, change drive letter format, delete volume properties, delete volume. I want to delete all the volumes. Is that what I want to do? I don't know Windows worth crap. I'm used to using Macs. Delete the partitions of the card. Okay, so go here, delete volume, yes. Go here, delete volume, yes. There we go. There's a whole card. There we go. Now do we go ahead and now how do I format it? Or we're done. We're formatted. That's it. That's all. You can format if you like, but we don't need to. Doesn't look like it's going to be an option. It's deleted the partition. So now we can go here, flash another. We've got the right image. No, so we got to make a partition. Make a new volume. Okay, file. No. New simple volume. Ah, next. 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 Finish. Okay, done. Healthy primary partition. Okay, so we have 228.8 gig. It's a 32 gig. That's fine. Okay, now, there we are. We are on the right volume, mass storage, 31 gig. Select one. Let's try this. Let's try it again. So it could have been the card. Obviously, there was an issue with the card, right? There we go. I'm having fun. I hope everybody else is. Oh, man. I just learned something new about Windows. I didn't know Windows had a disk manager like that. I honestly didn't know. Time for your sixth beer. You better have one. Watching me will drive anybody to drink. Trust me. Thanks. I just learned. I never knew that about Windows. Never knew that. So just learned something new. I work on Macs all day, every day. And that's very similar to the Mac disk manager as well. So I just assumed you could go to the little format thing and it would, anyways. You'll be back when you get it. Okay. If it's your sixth, it may take you a while to stagger back. You guys. Guess who does graphic work? Just got I just upgraded my old iMac. I was working on an iMac from 2012. Yeah, with, get this though, 32 gigs of RAM. I just got the new M2 Pro Mac Mini with 16 gigs of RAM, and it blows my old iMac like out of the water. I mean, I'm opening my Adobe applications within 4 seconds versus waiting literally a minute and a half for them to open. No, I never worked in Windows systems much. No, not at all. I haven't worked on Windows. Evening 3D Medic Vents. I haven't worked on Windows in forever. As far as getting into the, the technical aspects of it. You missed your Mac Mini. The new Mac Minis, Jack, the M1 and M2, the M2 and M2 Pro chips, they are blazing fast. I mean, incredible for what you get. And I learned, hey, poor boy, I got the M2 Pro Mac Mini. Yes, the M2 Pro. It's I don't understand the cores and all this. All I know is it's fast. And I learned something new, that when you go into the Apple store, you can go into the Apple refurbished store. That's where I got this one, on the Apple refurbished store. And I saved $400 and something off of it being new, but it's Apple certified refurbished, which means it comes with the complete warranty. It's like a brand new system, other than the fact that it's been used and somebody sent it back for whatever reason. And then Apple goes in and basically says, okay, we do this, we replace this or whatever. If there was a scratch on the cover, they would replace it. And here we give you $400 off, and you get it as if it's a brand new system you buy. It's really cool. Oh yeah, the M2 Pro is fast. I mean, stupid fast. For some reason, and I don't understand, this is an Apple thing. Sometimes when you open your software, for instance, if you open Adobe InDesign, it'll say verifying Adobe InDesign. And on my old iMac, that verification process could literally take up to 3-4 minutes. On the M2 Pro chip, on this new Mac Mini, it literally takes maybe 4 seconds to verify it. Boom. And then it opens the software in another 4 seconds, and it's extremely fast. You think it's still way overpriced? I guess, well, possibly. I mean, to get a decent PC for doing graphics, you're going to pay a fair bit of money too, though. You think about it. You were talking about the ancient iMac 233 PPC. Yeah, ancient iMacs, right? But then they also have, I also looked at the, it's called the Mac Studio. And it's fairly pricey. Then look at the Mac Pros. I mean, my goodness, they're stupid expensive now. But the Studio is reasonable. But the Mini does everything I need. The only thing about the Mac Mini, I did buy a dock for underneath it so that I have ports on the front. And then I also bought an external SSD, 1 terabyte SSD for backing up and so forth. So an Apple IIe, holy cow. You had a Big Mac once. And you can still taste it, right? So we're still flashing. According to this, it says flashing 79%. So possibly the card needed to be unpartitioned, and maybe that's why the flash failed, because the card was all effed up from what it was being used for last. So you had a Jonathan once. I can tell you're on your 6th beer, David. $6.99 new. Well, you can get the M2. The M2 Mac Mini M2 with 8 gig of RAM and everything. And I was just going to say, the 16 gig of RAM is extremely, it's unified RAM. It's plenty for what I'm doing. I've had Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop. I have my email and a few other softwares I use, my auto numbering and everything. And I've had them all open at once, and I have no problems with the 16 gig of RAM. Incredible. So day and night. So it's increased my productivity big time. So, okay, 93% flash, 94. Then we're going to verify. See, had I skipped the verification method before, I probably would have tried it and it would have not worked. And I'm going to, why? But you got to let this thing verify. And it says the flash failed, obviously. So we'll see what happens. Got another 20 minutes or so before I have to hang it up. We're going to visit some family afterwards tonight. You could run Nix on it. I've never used Linux, although one of our digital copiers, our Rico, uses Linux-based software. What are we at? How many viewers do we have tonight? And how many likes? I'm sure I've got some thumbs down tonight, which is fine. We have, let's see. I can't see how many people are. Oh, 38. Holy cow, 38 people. Wow. Thank you so much, everybody watching. And we got 25 thumbs up. I like that. Good, 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 good. And everybody who's tuned in a little bit later, just to see if it was going to smoke, it didn't smoke. Did not smoke. And now we're validating. So now we're going ahead and validating. I like this Bellina etcher. It's going to be interesting to see if I can get rid of this window now because we've already done our disk management thing. I'm kind of liking the Bellina etcher over Raspberry Pi Imager. We can close Raspberry Pi Imager. So we'll see what happens here. I got to change that logo on my screen. That's my old logo. Huh. Talking about returning to pay-per-click. Who? OS X is Linux. Oh, is it? Oh, didn't know that. No, I just thought it was OS X. Apple. Bellina etcher day flash failed and it was actually fine. Something about it not being able to verify Linux partitions. Oh, interesting. OS X is Apple's proprietary Linux distro. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, Bellina etcher is all you've ever used. You like it. Okay, cool. I like it so far. Mac Power PC. Oh, I remember those. 5 gig rolls of filament are a bit heavy. You think? 5 kilogram rolls of filament. That's only what? 2.2 times 5 is 10, 12 pounds? 12, 13 pounds. That would be heavy. Okay, we're at 82% validation, people. Is it going to work? And who just said that earlier? Ballistic Tech, you've had Bellina etcher day flash failed and it was actually fine. Well, we'll see what if it says fails again here, we will try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I may have to, it may be a faulty card. I will have to get on the Amazons and get a different card, or I might have one at the office. I don't know. I don't usually carry anything bigger than 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes in micro SDs. Here we go. Are we going to finish? Please tell me it's going to work. Flash complete. Yes, it didn't fail. It did not fail. And it automatically ejected it too. I have it right here. Ready? We're going to follow the instructions. We're not going to go to no damn supplicant file. We're going to go in here and it says when the ROS image has been written to the SD card, insert the SD card into the Raspberry Pi. Turn on the Pi. Oh, you're such a nice Pi. Oh, look at you and your... Oh, not that way. Okay, turn the power on. Okay, turn the power on to the Pi. Turn on the Pi. Woo! Let's see. Okay, here we go. After a few minutes, the Raspberry Pi will host a hotspot called RatOS. Join this hotspot on your phone or a PC with Wi-Fi. The password is Raspberry. Okay, so we're going to see after a few minutes. So we're going to at least let the light stabilize. This has got to work because I only have 15 minutes left. My bed is dusty. Pi bursts out laughing. Yes. As I was trying to romance the Pi. Let's talk about romancing the stone. Romancing the stone's Pi. Rhubarb Pi. I don't like rhubarb. Oh. They set up a web server in SSID and have you do the config through that. Yes. That's what they're saying they do. I'm going to cheat and see if it showed up on the phone yet, and then I'll check it on the PC. Let's see. Wi-Fi. Oh, it showed up on my phone. RatOS. Look. Hang on. I'll just show you. Something obviously worked. Right there. RatOS. Yay! Okay, so let's go on to my computer. So let's go on to here. Okay, this is Windows again, so forgive me. And I think I've got to go down here somewhere. Where's my Wi-Fi? This is hardwired in, but it does have Wi-Fi. Okay, maybe I got to go over here and go Wi-Fi. There we are, Wi-Fi. Show available networks. RatOS, right there. Connect. Raspberry. Checking network requirements. Okay, come on. Rhubarb stew. Connect, come on. Did I use the right password? I'm sure I did. Raspberry, yes. And I even spelled it right. There we are. We're connected. No internet secured. That's fine. Okay, so now that I'm on here, I should be able to click this. No. Oh, hang on. No, okay, hang on. We are connected. We don't need to disconnect. Okay, we are connected. Make sure. So now we are connected to that. Then it says, when connected, open http ratos.configure. Click on that. It's not there. Okay, reload. No, okay, or this one. You have no internet. You don't need it. Look at this. There we go. It worked on the other one. You don't need internet because we're okay. We got it. RatOS setup wizard. Told you. Ha ha ha. No, on the IP. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Now, and follow the steps presented there to set up Wi-Fi and your printer's host name. Okay, set up Wi-Fi. So there's our network right there. We need the password. I don't know if it'll be hidden. Yeah, it should be. What is my password again? I'm never able to resolve any of my the RatRig I couldn't, and the Vorons I could never resolve through a host name. It always had to be an IP address for some reason, and I to this day can't figure out why, but not worried about it really. Okay, I got to find my password here. Okay. Okay, save Wi-Fi credentials. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I got it right first. Okay, I did get it right. Okay. Wi-Fi credentials save. And never. Printer host name. I'm just going to call it RatOS. Save and connect. Settings saved. RatOS is now set up to connect to Shaw. Your Raspberry Pi will now reboot and join your local Wi-Fi network. Click the button below to reboot the Pi and close this window. You can then reconnect to your local network where RatOS should be available in a few minutes. Got it. Okay. ASDF super strong password. It's a pretty super strong password. Okay, so the RatOS is, so it's rebooting. So it should go back to my regular network on here. I think. Yeah, we're still rebooting. Yeah, we're not connected to the Pi automatically. We can go back to my regular network, which was this one. Connect. This was pretty slick though, David. Now we should be able to go to, now, okay, and follow the steps. Alternative, if you're using it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Heavily recommend that you flash your board to make sure it's okay. So after completing the Wi-Fi setup, wait a couple of minutes and then open RatOS configure step equals 1 in your browser or whatever host name you set up during the complete the wizard to flash your control board. So we want to go there, although it might not. Again, it's not doing host names for some reason. It's not recognized, so I may need the IP address. Configure equals step 1. Do my scan. Yeah, that's what I got to do. It should have the IP address now. Mind you, the Pi is still flashing, so it could still be rebooting. Oh, there it is, RatOS right there. 65. So I should be able to. Okay. There we are. Configure equals step 1. Well, we got an error, so we need to configure equals step 1. Now, how do we get into that? Success. Now, I just need to figure out now how to flash the board. Complete the wizard to flash your control board. So maybe I need to do configure. Okay, let me just have a look at this. Maybe instead of going right into that, maybe what I needed to do here was go. I know, just give me a second. It's just because I had to. There we go. Here's what I wanted. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. It just popped up. There it is right here. Installation. Okay. Install V-Core 3 config. Install vminion. Or was I in the right spot before? This was right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Control board preparation. We have the Octopus V1.1. It's not an F407. It's a Big Tree Octopus V1.1. Let's make sure. It's a STM32F 407. So this is the one right here, I'm pretty sure. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's the board I got. I'm a V1.1. Okay. And control board. And next. How do you want to flash your V1? Flash manually via SD card. I guess I have to do the whole, yeah, it will verify. Flash manually doing the SD card. I suppose that's how I've got to do it, or do I just, yeah, I guess that's the only option. Disconnect all the wires except power and USB and make sure your jumpers are set correctly. Format the SD card for your board, sometimes called FAT32, with a cluster of 8 or 4 kilobytes. If you use your card, confirm the firmware. Okay. So I've got to let me power this off then again, I suppose. No. Let me grab my SD card. I think I've got this 128 meg SD card. Okay. So we'll put the SD card in. We'll format it. That's this one here. No. Yeah, this is the one. Format it. It is hooked up to the Pi. Yeah, it is. Well, I shouldn't have to do this then, right? Hang on, let's just have a look at something here. Let's go back. Yeah, it is hooked up to the Pi, so should it not have recognized it there as being hooked up to the Pi? Okay, well, let's format the card anyways. FAT 2048. Let's just see what it said here. Let's just make sure. FAT 16 sometimes, or FAT 32 with a cluster size of 8 or 4 kilobytes. You should not have to do this. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Dave. If it's hooked up direct to the Pi, and it is hooked up to the Pi, USB, power in, yeah. I'll show you. You're writing the firmware, not to the Pi. I know, but through the, yeah, and yeah. Good night, Sergio. Okay, let's just go ahead and format FAT32 2048. It said 8 or 4 cluster size. It doesn't matter. We're good. Let's just do the format. Close. Make sure your firmware file is called firmware bin on the SD card. Enable display file extensions in your Explorer. Download will already have the correct name. Safely inject the SD card in your operating system. Physically take out the card and the control board. Click the reset button on the board and turn it back or turn it off and on again. Note if the Raspberry Pi is running, RatOS is currently powered by your control board or the same power source. Please shut it down safely first by using the button below. Okay, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Check board status. Shut down RatOS. That's what we got to do. Shut down. Okay. Compile firmware. Octopus V11 was not detected, so it just means it's not reading. It wasn't reading it from the Pi to the Octopus, which is really weird. Hey, Richard McLean. We're almost done here, just a few more minutes. We've got a family function to go to tonight. So we're going to compile the firmware on the card. We've shut down our RatOS. Oh, remove the SD card and see if it will trigger a connection to the Pi. Okay, I didn't try that. I can go back and try that again. We'll let it compile the firmware here real quick. See what happens. This is all new to me. This is all new to me, this whole method with RatOS. It's different. Okay, download firmware. Okay, firmware.bin has been downloaded. Okay. So let's put that on the card. Okay, there's my card D, which is blank right now, and the firmware was downloaded to my downloads, firmware.bin. Put that on the card. There we are. Okay, and then we can eject the card. Okay. Now, okay, I don't need to check the board status yet. So now I got to shut down, put the card in, and reboot. Okay, we'll put the card in the board. And we'll reboot. Hey, DBR. Okay, so we are letting this reboot. And then we're going to go back to the display, and we will then check board status, and it should say the board has been flashed successfully. We hope. And then we can move on. But why am I suspect that the board is not reading the Pi? I don't know. We will see. Hold down the reset button. Where, If I could find the reset button. There was a card in it before. Yeah, maybe that's... Nothing is happening. There's a reset button on... You're speaking the reset button on the board. So tiny. Yeah, step 8. Step 8. Click the reset button on the board or turn it off and on again. Note the Raspberry Pi running OS is currently powered by a control board. Yeah, I held the reset button down. I found the reset button. I believe reset button is right here. Or power it off and on again, which is what I did. or turn it off and back on again. Note, if the Raspberry Pi running RatOS is currently powered by a control board or the same power source, it's not, please shut it down safely first. Step 9 is for after the board is flashed. Yes, and the board should be flashed now. Obviously, I've done something incorrectly here. Well, let's just see. Okay, I know that if we shut this off now, I'm going to check this SD card and see if it changed from bin to well, it doesn't even have an extension now. It just says firmware. It doesn't say firmware.bin. No, it's not Cure. It's just firmware. It got rid of the bin. Let me make sure. Oh, it does say Cure. Yeah, it's CUR. So right here. So it's the extension is CUR. That means it flashed, right? And it's all caps, firmware.cur when I do the file type. So that means it flashed. Yeah, I'll go there, and if I go properties, we have CUR right there. So it did flash. Okay. So it flashed. So I can turn this. Do I have to have the card in there all the time? I guess it doesn't matter, does it? It was a success. Okay, so it was successful. But for some reason, this is not letting me move on at all. But let's try. Let's power this back on. I wonder if the Pi is not communicating with the board for some reason, even though I do have the Pi USB hooked up here, from here, and it's going into the USB on the board right here. This is the power for the Pi right here, and this is the USB. So this is going from USB to USB. Cable it all up and boot. So this screen just disappeared. So let's see if we can get this screen back. Bad gateway. It's probably just not booted yet. And then I'm reading here, and it talks about if you cannot connect to local, but the hotspot doesn't show up, try looking at the IP or Pi, blah, blah, blah. And it talks about redoing it down here. Yeah. Okay. Pi is using 5 volts. There we are. Okay. So we've already done the control board preparation. We've already done this, though. It just won't let me go any further than this. But I'd be more curious to see if I just do my... What this brings me to. So I'm into it, But what was the next steps on this going to be? Toolboard preparation, configure printer in mainsail, choose your hardware and start calibrating your printer. But this is not letting me, this particular part's not letting me move on any further. Pi W is a bit toasty. This is a little bit warm, but it's not overly warm. 49 degrees. I actually have some fans I can put on it if need be. So I need V-Core 3 config. The temp is high. Yeah. Maybe I do need to maybe get a fan for the Pi. Wonder if this one would. I wonder if this would work. That's a little bit big for it, but it might work. I have this little guy right here. I have a little fan here that I could actually probably just attach here and keep the Pi cooler. So yeah, I have a separate power supply for the Pi right now. Go to machine. Does the MCU show? Okay, let's have a look and see. Machine, RatOS, printer config. Nothing is showing. There's no config in there at all. That's why I think I need to go to back here, and I think I need to install the V-Core 3 config file. I think I need to completely reconfigure. But we've made some headway here. Yeah, there's no config in here at all. And I don't have my backup config from before. Showing two. So I believe I have to install V-Core 3 config, and then I have to go through and configure everything. I thought I saved all my config files from my last setup, because mind you, I just have to change a few things, and maybe I didn't save them. Let me have a quick peek here. Clipper macros, Clipper mainsail, Orca slicer, LSPIF. No, I must not have saved them. No, it would be on my desktop if I saved it. Top right, let's see, top right. Compile firmware. This one? What are we looking at? Yeah, you could send me yours, David, for sure. That would probably, it's probably not a bad idea, because the firmware compiling, or the setting up the config file is tedious. You've got the exact same printer as I do. You even have the same hot end that I do, I believe. I'm running the yeah, you're running the Rapido and the Apis. So your config file would probably be exactly the same as me. Machine tab. What were we looking at on the machine tab? Machine, top right, system loads. Oh, I see. Well, there's where we're going to do all the updates too. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. V-Core is on desktop, top left corner. Yes. Was it on desktop, top left corner? No. Voron, inverted Voron. V-Core 3.1 upgrade parts. Yeah, that's just the, that's my printed parts. That's the new printed parts I did. That's what that was. So let's do that. I've hit my time. David, if you want to send me your config file, that would be appreciated, because as I say, you've got the exact same setup pretty much as me. As I say, same hot end, same extruder. same size printer. So that would probably save me a lot of time. Hey, Jerry. Okay, send that to me tomorrow. As I say, we got a family function we're going to for 7:30 tonight. So, but we've come a long way here. I think once I get the config file set up, that'll probably prevent my my parts cooling fan from being on constantly. But at least we know now that the main board is flashed, and we have the RatOS on the Pi. So I think we're doing okay. This screen right here is kind of new to me too. This whole screen right here too. So this is where we can get the V-Core file, config file, but I won't have to do that. Look, install Prusa Mini. Very cool. Prusa Mark III. So we can run, RatOS will run all those printers, obviously. Voron, yeah, look at that. Pretty cool. But that is running hot, isn't it? That's really hot. That's very warm. 47 degrees. Wow. And then we got all these updates to do once we get the config file. Actually, we can do all these updates before we do the config. But I'm running low on time. Well, we got a fair bit done. So, and it's painful watching me do this stuff. I know it is, because it's painful me doing it. But we eventually get there. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. You have a nice night too, Miles. Appreciate you joining. What I was going to say something else real quick, and what was I going to say? I hate when I have a thought and it just disappears. I've yet to figure out as far as hooking up the beacon. But do you have a beacon, David? I'm not sure if you have the beacon or not as well. Ninth beer. Holy crap! I'll ask you tomorrow if you have the beacon, if that's included in your config file or not. Drop it in mineral oil in the bottle. I feel your pain. You can commiserate with you. You can, eh, poor boy? Yeah. It gets overwhelming, but you know what? The thing is, I understand what's happening. I just sometimes don't do the right things all the time. So, but the fact that I got this mainsail or this RatOS window up already is really encouraging to me. So, oh, you're using the EasyABL. Okay. I have to figure out the beacon because, as I say, it's a USB-A cable here for it. And I don't know whether this plugs into the Pi or the main board, but either or, I have a feeling I might not be able to use this without a Pi 3 or 4 because there's nowhere else to plug this into the Pi. This one up here is, I believe, a display. Or what is that plug up here on the Pi 0W? So we have our power, our USB. I'm not sure what this one is here. And then on this one, all I have up here is a USB-C. So if this guy has to plug into the main board, then I need to get a USB-C adapter for it for the beacon to work. I'm pretty sure the beacon will plug into the main board. So I'm pretty sure that's where I'll plug it in right there is the USB-C. So we'll have to get that adapter. Well, actually, I have one of those adapters. It was used for my micro SD card reader. I have that adapter right here. So I'll have to plug this into here and then the beacon into here. Boom, boom. And then configure that. So you would bet money. Try to get the Pi plugged into the small C. Yeah, I think this is I think that's micro HDMI. I think you're right. Yeah. But you think you may have to get a big boy Pi, but I think the beacon plugs into the main board. I can plug a hub into the Pi. Oh, look at that. I missed it though. Does the beacon plug into the let us see the wires again. Oh, thanks so much, Pierre. Does the beacon plug into the main board or the Pi? Either or. If I can get a hub for the Pi, then yeah. Yeah, but I think that is a mini HDMI. I suspect the beacon's going to plug in right there into the USB-C. So we'll see. Octopus is plugged into USB-C. Okay, drop the whole Pi into a bottle of mineral oil. Okay, so what you're saying is that I could use a USB-C or a micro USB to USB-C to connect the Pi, and then I could put the beacon into the USB. Well, I guess either or, right? Either or. 2 USBs going into the main board, and with the 1 USB coming out of the Pi. So USB-C on the Pi to USB-C on the Octopus, not the BIB one. Big one. Yeah. I could do that. I think I have a USB-C to USB-C cable, which is a good idea, and that'll actually prevent me from having to use a little adapter. So what you're saying is go USB-C. I think that's USB-C to USB-C. Let's just power this off for now, since we're where we are. So yeah, so no, that's not even USB-C. That's micro USB. Micro USB to USB or USB-C, and then we could take the beacon and just go straight into USB. I guess 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I don't think it matters either way as long as they're both going into the USBs on the main board. You were stuck where I'm at. Okay, yeah. C is the fastest. So I would think, yeah, so I guess then going into C from the Pi gets fast data transfer from the Pi, and then going right into the USB-A with the beacon probe is going to be fast enough, probably. I don't think the beacon probe needs to transfer data as fast as the Pi does. So I suppose, yeah. I've got to write down 65. I got to remember that IP address for the RatRig, although my luck it'll change. 65 RatRig. For some reason, the local host addresses don't work. For me, they don't work for the RatRig before. They don't work for the Vorons. I have to type in IP addresses. So there's a beacon quick start guide. That's what I've got to look up as the beacon guide. Beacon probe quick start guide. That's what I got to look up. There we are, beacon documentation, quick start. Yeah, okay. Route the cable, install beacon clipper module, route the USB cable along the filament path umbilical, plug into your single board computer. Okay, plug into it. So it's got to plug into the Pi. It's got to plug into the single board computer. Oh, Teza, now you're talking way over my head. So the beacon does have to plug into the Pi. So according to this, right here, right there, plug into the single board computer. You know what, Teza and Jack, I will learn how to do that and set that for my printers as I go forward. So here's the dilemma now. We have to plug it into the Pi. So I have either got to get a USB hub for that Pi, or where'd I put it? Man, I have a Pi here. That's for my Trident. I could steal the Pi from the Trident, which is a Pi 4B, which has plenty of USBs. I could put this Pi on this computer, on this printer, and then just wait until I can get another Pi and build it and use it for the Trident build. That's a possibility. Maybe we got to do that, and I'll have to redo the Pi and everything. Or actually, that other card should still work in this Pi. Oh no, this would be a 64-bit, wouldn't it? Because this has, how many gigs does this have on it? I don't know, but this would require a different flash, which is fine. We could do this. So there's that. Oh man, yeah. So there's this option. Yeah. There's this option. or I have another Pi somewhere, but I don't know if it works. So when you run advanced IP scanner, it tells you the MAC address. Oh, okay, okay. Well, David, I'm supposed to have an easy ABL on its way to me. Tim was going to send me one, and I don't know what happened, whether he ever didn't send it or whether it got lost. So, but then to address the heating issue on the Pi, I have this fan, which I don't remember if it's 5 volt or 12 volt. I think it's 5 volt. I don't think it'll tell me under this. No. I think this is a little 5 volt pan that I can easily just connect over to one of these fan ports here and have 5 volt cooling on there, but I'm going to worry about that later. NMCLI lists connections. Okay. Well, I will teach myself how to work with the MAC addresses. I never work with those things. I just generally deal with IPs and stuff, and a lot of this stuff is over my head, but I'm a quick learn. I really am a quick learn. I seem stupid sometimes. Hey, I'm guilty, but I'm a quick learn. I'm guilty of reading too fast and skipping stuff, so which is really what happens a lot of the time. So yeah, okay. Well, I've gone a little overboard. I really got to go because we're supposed to be there at 7. The MAC address will also be listed in your router when setting up the static IPs. I've never seen the need for an IP scanner app when you can access your router's attached devices. Okay, what is that on Windows Net Stats? What? I have no idea. Okay. Guys, it's been great. I really appreciate everybody watching. What I may end up doing is just putting this Pi on here. I think these are slowly becoming available again at reasonable prices. So I may end up just putting this on here and then just delaying building my Trident, or at least getting the electronics done on the Trident until I can get another Pi. And we'll go from there. So, but I have to go. Thank you so much for all your help. We got to where I was hoping we could get to tonight. I'll work on the beacon probe, et cetera, et cetera. And listen, we will we'll do that. But you guys, listen, have a great week. We'll continue on this, and I want to get this thing printing really quick. I'm excited now. We're on the home stretch. So thank you very much again, everybody. I really appreciate everybody being here, and we will catch you guys the next time, and we'll see you next Sunday for sure. Have a great week. Everybody stay safe out there. Bye for now.